And after another week of playoff matchups, the season gets thinner and thinner. But the thing is though, the Falcons fans are still not happy. Because why that?
Because they suck a little bit.
Yeah. But we're going to get into some stuff. First, let's just get right into it. Chiefs, Ravens. Chiefs win 17-10 because Patrick Mahomes is literally Jesus Christ in the second coming. And Patrick Mahomes is a guy, but I want to talk about this, right? So, the Ravens. Y'all had the best defense left in the playoffs. You had the best offense left in the playoffs. You had the best running attack in the playoffs. You even had one of the best quarterbacks, arguably the best quarterback in the playoffs remaining, right? How you only scored 10 points? I can't even blame the defense because literally the defense allowed 0 points in the second half. But your MVP, Lamar Jackson, instead of doing what he does best, and that's extending plays, this man throws an interception into triple coverage. We see a lot of interceptions from here and there. Some are terrible decisions. This is the worst decision I've ever seen in a playoff game in my life. You're down by 10 points, so you automatically need a score. And this stupid head decides to throw it into triple coverage in the back of the end zone. One receiver, three DBs. What did you think was going to happen? And then you're out here throwing your helmet. Why are you throwing your helmet for? That was the best throw, right? And then you got MVS sealing the game. Dad, how do you feel about the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl for like the 50th straight time?
Well, my boy, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. All right.
Okay.
I want to talk about what's really going on. This was is what I call. I just did a short on this. This is what I call Lamar Jackson choke job. Let me explain something to you. The definition of a choke. We don't like to tell grown men they choke. But let me tell you, choke job is like what you normally do and what you do great when the lights come on, when everything matters. You play differently. You you play like garbage. So that's what happened here. Lamar Jackson, we're talking about you. You are number one seed. You have this home playoff game in the AFC Championship game. You about to win your second MVP and still no Super Bowl. What else you want me to call it? Choke job.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like Lamar Jackson, no doubt about it. This is not even the first time he's done something like this. You remember 2019? He had arguably the best quarterback season of all time. Some people were saying they were like 14-2, one seed, and then you host the Tennessee Titans, who just upset Tom Brady and the Patriots. Ain't nobody thought that they were gonna walk in there and did y'all like they did y'all. 28-12, right? But then I'm like, that was a terrible game from Baltimore back then. But I'm like, all right, maybe Jackson will grow. He can't even do that. He's won 2 playoff games his entire playoff career in the NFL. You see, this is why I don't like when people say elite or great quarterbacks, because there's a difference. Elite quarterbacks are the quarterbacks that thrive no matter what. Whether that's Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, you know, quarterbacks that when the light is on, when the stage is bright, they always shine in that moment. Lamar Jackson's not one of them. Don't get me wrong, he is a good quarterback. But elite quarterback? Nah. Man, you hosted the Chiefs. A lot of people were counting on y'all. A lot of people thought that y'all were going to dog walk them or at least send them to Cancun. And yet they're the ones going to the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I mean.
But,
That's part of the choke job that I left out.
yep. And
The
also,
the narrative is that, Lamar Jackson can't win no playoff game, can't
yeah,
win the big game. So he has a chance to put all that to rest, and he did what he did yesterday. And also this whole narrative about who's elite quarterback and all this, the sports media is garbage. I mean, every year they got somebody as, I just heard him talking about, well, Lamar Jackson is gonna let the world know that he's on the same plane as Patrick Mahomes. Come on now. Remember what happened last year with Jalen Hurts? I mean, before the season, didn't even know if Jalen Hurts was their guy. And what happened? Jalen Hurts had an unbelievable season. He's an elite quarterback now. Where's this dude at? He at home. You know what Lamar Jackson did this year? He went his butt home too.
yeah, yeah. And don't get me started on Zay Flowers, too. Zay Flowers, he had a great game, right? But this stupid. You can call it a rookie mistake. You can call it whatever. You're down by 10 points. It's almost the end of the third quarter, right? You have a beautiful play, 54 yards down the field, inside the 10-yard line. This man spins the ball by the defender and smiles in his face. No, back him up. Back him up. Back him up. No, taunting. So now you're at like the 20 to 25, maybe the 30-yard line, right? But it's okay because eventually in the fourth quarter, you get inside the 10-yard line again. And this man catches the ball, right? A clear touchdown, walk-in touchdown, puts it to a 3-point game. Instead of just walking into the damn end zone, you want to know what this man did?
Lost the ball.
He fumbled the ball before crossing the goal line. Oop, Chiefs recover. 25 or 20-yard line. Dude, and if you get the touchdown, this is an entire different ballgame. Like, you are getting the momentum. Your defense is playing phenomenal. This man fumbled the ball. Y'all signed Dalvin Cook. For what? He didn't get a single snap the entire playoffs. You just signed him so you get a free ring? Apparently got paid $50,000 for that ring, because that ring ain't free. Especially when you have a talented quarterback like Pat Mahomes on the other side. You know what's going to happen. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm done talking about that game. Let's talk about the bets. Well, to some people. Lions, 49ers, and 49ers win 34-31, facing the Chiefs in another Super Bowl. Man, like, honestly, congrats to the Lions for getting this far. A lot of people didn't expect them to get this far. But you were up 24-7 at halftime. And you lose. Hear me out, right? You go 4 on 2 fourth downs. And I was not surprised when they went for it on either of them, because we know Dan Campbell is. Man, he'll bite the bullet now and save it for later. I know who he is. But that's not going on. I don't know why that's still going on. But you're down by 10 points, right? You have all 3 timeouts. You're in field goal range. I know you're trying to get touchdown. But here's why I don't understand why teams do this. If you're in field goal range and it's just under 2 minutes left and you have all timeouts, why not kick the field goal and save time? And people might call me crazy for that because, it's not like the end of the game yet. Why don't you just settle for the field goal now, then go for the touchdown later? And I know getting a touchdown is harder than getting a field goal. I know that. But what would you rather have? A 1% chance? Like, say you have 2 doors, right? And one of it makes you a millionaire. One of it either makes you have the same lifestyle or broke. And if you have a 1% chance to get the $1,000,000, would you not at least try? Or would you just say, nah, I'm just going to live my life to being broke? You're telling me you ain't going to try? That's basically what the Lions said that they would do. Just going for touchdown. You get the touchdown, but on 3rd and goal, you run the ball, and you know the risk. You get stuffed. So then you burn the timeout. So now you're already at a disadvantage that if they recover the onside kick, which they did, then they can just kneel it out. Game over. So, Dan Campbell, I know you want to send a message, but if there's 6 minutes left and you're down by 3, kick the field goal. I know your kicker ain't the best, but kick the field goal. Give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Dad, what do you feel about the massive choke job that Detroit did on San Fran?
Well, let me tell you the difference. I don't consider this a choke job. The reason why the Baltimore Ravens was #1 seed. They have an MVP quarterback. Detroit Lions not supposed to be here. You know, they come from down here and they work their way up. So, what they choking on? Not a whole lot. Let me tell you what this was. This was a beat down in the first half. The Lions were beating down the 49ers. The offensive line was pushing them around. Their running backs and receivers was more physical than the defense. And but the second half was a total different half. Just like that beatdown was in the first half, there was a beatdown in the second half where Detroit couldn't do anything right. And as far as the 4th down conversions go, I don't necessarily put that on Campbell. I mean, I think they were good decisions. They were just poorly executed. Players got, like I said, got their butts whooped in the second half. They got pushed around. So
Yeah.
a little bit of execution, guys. Come on. Y'all
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, man. But congrats to the 49ers. And unfortunately, congrats to the Chiefs. They will be playing in, because I don't want to get sued, they'll be playing in the big game. So, you know about that?
No, tell me. You getting
So
sued?
apparently, like, have you ever watched a Super? My bad. Have you ever watched a big game commercial and then they never say the words? I'm
Can't
scared to do it
say
right now.
can't say super something.
Yeah, they can't. You know what? Screw it. They can't say Super Bowl because for some reason they're always like, you gotta say the big game. I don't understand it. But hey, it's whatever. I'm not here to talk about Super Bowl. We'll talk about that maybe later. But yeah, congrats to the
Let's talk
Lions
about Taylor
49.
Swift. Come on.
No,
What's your
that will
favorite
not
Taylor Swift
happen.
song?
No, that will not happen on the day that I live, which is today, so that won't happen. But but hey, fun fact, now the 49ers share the biggest comeback in NFC Championship game history. Do you want to know do you want to know who had the biggest choke job before?
And hold up, let me see what this dude talking about. He's about to sue us. All right. I'm suing you for saying Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift,
Yeah,
Taylor
that's
Swift,
my
Taylor Swift.
yeah, that's my
Taylor
guy Judah
Swift, get off
Tribe.
my TV. You know what I had to
Yeah,
do?
shout out to the good Judah Tribe.
I had to take Windex and some paper towels and clean my TV last night because Taylor Swift was on. So do that what you would, Mister. I'ma sue you. Okay.
Yeah,
Where we at, Mike? Let's get back on track
yeah,
here. Come
yeah,
on.
he's just trolling because of that Super Bowl joke that I don't understand. All right, Judah. But now let's talk about some actual things. First I want to talk about this going on. Michael Thomas. Okay, all right, sure, Judah. But yeah. So
I am a Swifty. What the hell?
all right, but
I got
Michael
hey,
Thomas,
I got
bro.
Taylor Swift pajamas. Hmm.
Cool. All right, all right.
Come
So
on now.
Michael Thomas, right? I want to get
Yeah.
into what he said. Hold on, let me pull it up. Michael Thomas decided to go off on the Saints yesterday. Let's see. So if if you had told me a year ago, all right, if you tried to tell me a year ago that Michael Thomas was going to be one of the faces of the discussion on Championship Sunday, I'll be like, all right, the Saints are playing on Championship Sunday with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But we're talking about a whole different thing. So I'm only going to get into a few messages because I don't have time to read what all this dude is, or what all this Michael Thomas has to say. I'm pulling it up right now. All right. So, all right, it's not coming up. All right, hold on. I'm gonna find it.
Hey, Judah, you can't sue me. I don't have no money.
I don't have
You
no
gonna
money
sue me
either.
for? I have no money.
What's up, Blue Waves?
The
All right,
Blue
let's
Waves. Come on now.
shoot.
Who's
I
your
won't
pick in the
surprise
Super
you, Blue.
Bowl, Blue?
All right, let's see if Fanside is. Man, I don't know why it's so hard to find tweets. All right, so he started talking about. So look, he started talking about. There was a tweet that he mentioned eyes, right? And why do you think there's a big deal to those who don't know what I'm talking about? Is that after I want to say I think it was the Detroit game where Derek Carr missed a pass to A.T. Perry wide open, right? He started going off of him on that time, and then he started mentioning that basically Derek Carr can't really see. All right, let's see. I'm showing your clothes and your microphone in there. All right,
You
but
can't have this microphone. I bought this at Walmart. You can't have this.
yeah, but
$29. No.
so he mentions how Mahomes can see the field, right? And everybody knows who he's talking about, right? Then he's going back and forth with fans, doing with the Michael Thomas routine. He's doing the Michael Thomas routine, and then a fan mentions Mrs. Boyfriend Drew Brees. He sure does. In fact, speaking of that, so I'm gonna get into what he said about that too. Michael Thomas said that I don't have the fans' messages, but the fans started talking about his injury stuff, and he said, "Well, if I didn't get set up by a bad ball, I probably would have had a little light, or no, would have had a light little 1K yards this year, but could have, should have. I know, I get it, LOL. So you're talking about 1,000 yards. I looked at your stats earlier. Dog, you needed like 20 more games to even reach that. Michael Thomas, listen to me when I say this. Okay. Listen to me when I say this. Michael Thomas, 39 catches on the year, 448 yards, and a touchdown. 1,000. Yeah, maybe 1,000 bullets. 1,000 yards? Look at it, look, back in the year 2019 was his breakout year, the face of the NFL, the best receiver in football, all of this, right? When he had 149 catches, a NFL record, 1,700 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I know, Judah. I didn't want to believe it. I thought he had at least 600. But so yeah, he had all that things. He had all those numbers, right? 2020 started going downhill. Michael Thomas, 40 catches, 438 yards, donut touchdowns. The year after that, didn't play. The year after that, 16 catches, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns. Then this year, I just said his stats. Yeah, he's just collecting a check, and we're going to get to him in a second as well. And then he wants to go on saying how, on top of that, they wasn't even trying to get me the ball, but it's no denying my style of play. It don't age player. You will see. First of all, that is bullcrap because the first 10 games when he was healthy, Derek Carr would stare down Michael Thomas. But yet you weren't open. So he threw somebody else. Get open. Stop crying. Stop crying on your cell phone. Get off the couch and play some football. That's what you get paid to do. Man, can I just say I don't want to go to school today because I don't feel like it? Can I do that? No. I have a job just like you have a job. I could just say I don't want to do this show right now. But I'm not going to do that because I actually love what I'm doing. You clearly don't love football. And I used to go hard for Michael Thomas. But this, man, all right. Shout out to you, Judah. But yeah, I was almost gonna say he worse than Bustin Fields, but no one's that bad. Yeah, Derek Carr's not Bustin Fields bad, but I don't understand. What are you talking about? You keep saying that Derek Carr set you up. Dog, you weren't doing nothing before that. Like, you had a great start to the season, but then you kind of die down. You would have like one highlight a game, and then you just go in ghost town. You was talking about going to the Chiefs yesterday. Dad, what do you have to say about this crybaby?
Of course, he would want to go to the Chiefs. He's a bandwagoner. I mean, Michael Thomas needed to stop crying on his Twitter. He needs to stop tweeting on the Twitter. Hold up, it's not even Twitter anymore. It's X.
Yeah.
Get off the X.
Mm.
Anyway, Michael Thomas, what have you been doing the last 2 years? I mean, was Derek Carr here to throw you some hospital balls last year when your little foot hurt or your little knee like the year before? Oh, my little knee. Nah, stop crying, bro. Stop crying. Man, I'm so quick to get rid of this dude right now. I can't wait till they do. And, get somebody else in there. I mean, we got some good young receivers coming up. We don't need this little crybaby. We're trying to build something here. I mean, he could go with Dennis Allen somewhere and, go, you know, take each other to a desert island or something and just live happily ever after.
Yeah. Yeah, our quarterback does suck, Judah. But now let's get into some more stuff. Let's put that over there. All right.
Who's Judah's quarterback?
Justin Fields.
Ugh. Okay.
All right. But now let's talk about some basketball. We're gonna switch it up from here and there. Should the Pelicans make
Hoopin'.
a trade?
Yes.
Yes. Trade Jonas and Dyson Daniels. I do not want to see either of them on this team no more. I don't. Like, I try to be patient with both of them. Look, Jonas is the definition of mid. He, like, one day he's gonna pop up for 20 and 12. Next day he's gonna pop up for like 14 and 9. You never know what you're getting out of him. And Dyson Daniels, I was trying to be patient for you. I was so happy when we drafted you. Dyson, you've been playing 20 minutes a game.
Well,
And yet you barely be touching the ball. Hey, Jerry, but you barely be touching the ball. How does that make sense? Oh, I know how it makes sense. Because you're not a threat. We're not trying to draft players that don't have a role. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't be playing you. So clearly you're supposed to have a role, right? But like, hey, Majestic, but I don't understand. What does he do? What does he do in New Orleans? Can somebody answer that? But we're gonna talk about more. We're gonna talk about more trading later in the show. But now let's get to some Zion talk. Man, people were laughing at his weight, and now people are gonna laugh at him even more because this man this man chooses what games he wants to play.
They let him.
So yeah. So yeah. But man, the Pelicans right now we're like the sixth seed in the West. We have the Celtics tonight. We better win this game. Jerry
Sixth
said he
seed
saw
and
his
sink.
he saw his video.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah.
Jerry saw my video. I said a bad word to Jerry. My bad.
But yeah, now let's talk into something that I didn't even want to discuss.
What's that?
Some people think that it's man. Some people, not me, have this idea that the Saints should hire Arthur Smith to be our offensive coordinator. Dad, I'm about to go off on these idiots. How do you feel about that comment?
That is never going to happen. I mean, first off, I don't know how Arthur Smith would fit, but he wants to whip Dennis Allen's ass anyway. So why would Dennis Allen and Arthur Smith come together and kiss and make up? No, that's not going to happen. I mean, you know, Dennis Allen telling that lie to him like, "Oh, the players they want to score the touchdown." Man, stop all that. Stop. Y'all don't like each other, so that's that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, why would the Saints hire a watermelon cheeseburger to run our offense? That's worse than
Uh,
Carmichael. You know, because dog, y'all saw that in week 18. Y'all saw that in week 18. That man don't want nothing to do in the one. That we got him fired. Why do you want to come here?
well, we didn't get him fired. He was on his way, but we kicked him on the way out. He was
Man,
like, "There's the door, big boy."
but yeah. Now let's review some player seasons for the Saints. Let's review Alvin Kamara's season. How do you feel like Alvin Kamara's season was?
If we scoring from an A to an F, I give him a C minus. You know, not too great, not too bad. I mean, he was, suspended for the first whatever 6 games, and then he got hurt a little while into the season. So, it is what it is. He didn't do great.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at his stats. He had 180 carries, 694 yards, 3.9 yards a run, 5 touchdowns, and 75 receptions. But if we're grading him, I will give him like C, maybe a C minus. Like I don't care about all the suspension. Like yeah, but at the same time, H is really caught up with Kamara. He's not. He has never had a 1,000-yard running season, but it's all right, man. We'll see what happens from here. I don't even know if he's gonna be on the Saints next year at this point, but we'll see about. We'll see what he decides to take his future. Now let's talk about Juwan Johnson's season. How do you feel Juwan Johnson's season was?
Well, give him a slightly higher grade, probably a B. Would have been a lot higher if he would have stepped up earlier in the season. But he came on late, scored some touchdowns, got some yards, yada yada. Didn't go to the playoffs, so
Yeah,
C.
I'm giving Johnson a C plus because, and I tried telling people last year, after he had his breakout year, we need to draft a tight end. I do not trust Juwan Johnson to be a starting tight end. I'm sorry, I don't. Look, if Brock Bowers somehow falls to number 14, take him. Because
Get
look,
him.
I love Johnson, but dog, 37 receptions for 368 yards, 9.9 yards a catch, and 4 touchdowns. That ain't nearly the stats he had last year. So, Johnson's just not really improving. I think he peaked too early. But, yeah, well. But now let's talk about some other stuff going on in the NFC South. Carolina Panthers stay in the division, and they hire former Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator Dave Canals to become their head coach. How do you feel about the hiring?
He's gonna be fired in 2 years. I mean, if you have Bryce Young as your quarterback, I mean, how good can you be?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
the uh the Bucks offense wasn't, you know, lighting it up this year either. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like Dave Canals has some upside to him. I think the Panthers, out of all the teams, they have the brightest future if Bryce Young develops and if they can build a team around Young. But like, we'll have to see. But we'll see about that. Now let's go on to another coach. Atlanta Falcons hired not Bill Belichick, but they hired Raheem Morris, the former Rams DC, to be their HC. How do you feel about that hire?
uh, I mean, I don't know why these people are hiring these same coaches. He got a record of what 21-38 as a head coach in this league. I mean, that's no ground shaking move there. I mean, what do you think? You like that
No,
for them?
no, I don't.
I,
I
I
don't
like
be
it for the
100% don't.
Saints. I like it for the Saints. I mean, he doesn't scare me. None of these hires scare me. You know.
Yeah, yep. But now I want to say, now we're going to talk about one of the aging veterans. Have we seen the last of Jimmy Graham in the black and gold uniform?
Think so. I think so. I mean, I don't know what they got against Jimmy Graham because every time they put him in there, especially close to the goal line, he did something. When I say he did something, I mean score touchdowns. So I don't. You're probably not gonna bring him back. I don't know why. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I think Jimmy, he's probably gonna retire, but or he's gonna go to somewhere where he can get out of range. But yeah, but now let's talk about something that we kind of talked about last week with Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan. Will Brian Kelly go to Michigan? Do you think he leaves LSU to go to Michigan?
Nope. I think Ryan Kelly likes being at LSU. I think he likes Nick Saban retiring. I think he likes being in the SEC. I mean, this is where it's at. I mean, if you want to be the best of the best, you stay in the SEC and you win some championships at LSU. That
Yeah,
LSU. Okay, I'm stop.
yeah. I agree. Like people were linking him to Michigan, and I'm like, no, no. But now let's talk about some NBA things. Let's go back to the NBA. The All Star starters have been announced.
Uh,
Now I'm gonna list them off. So in the West, you got LeBron James. This is his 20th All Star. Kevin Durant, 14th All Star. Nikola Jokic, 6th All Star. Luka Doncic, 5th All Star. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's 2nd All Star appearance. How do you feel about these West status?
I think they're all right. I mean, if you want somebody else to be a starter, you have to take one off, and I don't see anyone that you would take off. I mean, I know you didn't say that's that's the West, right? You didn't say Steph Curry,
Yeah,
but
he's not a starter.
right. So I guess you'd have to take off Gilchrist to put him on, or but he's had an unbelievable season, so maybe he deserves it over
Yeah,
Steph
people
Curry.
start throwing a fit about Curry not making it, and like this season, Shea's had a better season, whether you want to admit it or not. I know Curry be going bonkers sometimes, but they also put the record into it. Like they're the 1 seed in the West. They just dominated my team. So yeah, like people are like 46 points, 30, but like
So
at
that
the
was
same time they all
Shea Alexander.
yeah.
Okay, I said Gilchrist, but I meant Alexander. Okay,
Well, his full name is Shea Gilgis Alexander.
there you go. Okay, I know I was right. I knew we was talking about the same person.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but yeah, um, like this season, the Thunder have had a better season, and Shea's had a better season than Curry. So I mean, Shea's got you beat Curry. I'm sorry, but now in the East, we got Giannis. This is his eighth. Embiid, his seventh. Jason Tatum, his fifth. Tyrese Halliburton with his second, and then Dame Dollar, which is I actually found this interesting. This is Damian Lillard's eighth time being an All Star, and yet this is his first time being an All Star starter. Yeah,
okay,
that tells you something.
because
But
he's in the East now. He was in the West with Steph and Chris Paul and some good guards. So I guess you couldn't crack that starting lineup. But now you're in the East. I guess you're good enough to crack it. And you're in
yeah,
there.
people are talking about that Jalen Brunson should have been here, but like I said, the Bucks and Damian Lillard have both been better than the Knicks and Jalen Brunson. So,
Yep.
but yeah, yeah. Do you have any complaints about the Eastern All Stars or the West All Stars?
Nope. I think they're fun. I hear some people talking about Anthony Davis should be in there, but I mean, who you gonna take off?
I mean, you would have to like who's the West Center? Um, you would have to take off Jokic.
Right, and he's a 3-time MVP.
Yeah,
MVP.
yeah. Now let's talk about can Zion Williamson and the Pelicans win the West and make it to the finals?
Mm. My first thought would be no, but from playoff time, maybe they're not doing this. Play when I want every other game. Just like the in season tournament when they actually focus and win for that championship. Maybe playoffs is just what we need. Start playing like that again. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would love it. Don't get me wrong, but have we played against the Bucks, the Thunder, the Suns, three good / great teams? We're gonna be playing teams better than that come playoff time. Because like at the end of the day, like it's a best of 7 series. So if you can't win at least 4 games every single time, then you're dusted. You're dusted. But yeah. Now let's talk about do the Pelicans have any favorable playoff matchups? Is there a team that if Adam Silver told you you had to pick who you want the Pelicans to go up against in a best of 7 series, who are you telling Adam Silver put me up against them?
Put me up against the Kings. I like a matchup against the Kings. What about you?
Yeah, I'm looking at the playoff picture right now. So you got the Thunder. I wouldn't want to play the Thunder after what they just did to us, and they always dominate us when it comes to playoff time. The Timberwolves. I mean, I would like playing Timberwolves, but we'll have to see. Clippers, no. Nuggets, no. Kings, like you said, they're favorable. Suns, not really, but
They the
I won't
starters.
mind it. Yeah, Mavericks. I won't be upset, but Luka just dropped 73 points, so he's probably going to drop 80 on us because we're the Pelicans. And you got Lakers at 9, and then Jazz at 10. Um, I mean, out of these teams, I know the Timberwolves are the second seed, but I would like to see because like last time we played Minnesota, I think the last 2 times the Pelicans dominated. So I would like to see if we can dominate Timberwolves because, like I said, it's a best of 7 series. It's not like the NFL where you lose in Cancun. So Timberwolves,
Mm.
that could be a fun thing to play. I would like our matchup against Minnesota. I don't think that they have the pieces to guard our players, and I don't think they have the pieces to score on our players. But hey, we're the Pelicans, so man, they can drop 80 points in one quarter. So yeah, but yeah, and also let's see. So now there's some news that kind of relates to New Orleans, but former LSU wide receiver Kayshon Boutte, who's the current New England Patriots wide receiver, got arrested. Do you think his career is over?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll be able to come back from this little hiccup. What do you think?
I mean, like, no offense, but Kayshon Boutte really has not had a career to begin with because he barely plays. So. But like you said, I think it's not like a Henry Ruggs situation where you killed somebody because like
Right.
if he killed somebody, your career is no. You can be the best player in the world. No. But now there's a rumor. All right. Will the Bills entertain or how about this? Do you think that the Saints should make a trade for Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills?
There's a rumor of that.
I guess.
I haven't heard it, but you know, he's a great player. He talks a lot, got a little attitude, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go over some numbers right here. Stephon Diggs, his last 4 seasons, right? In 2020, he played in 16 games. He had 127 receptions, 1,535 yards, a 12.1 average yards of reception, 8 touchdowns. Good year. 2021, played in 17 games. This is where we get the 17 game schedule. Played in 17 games. 103 receptions for 1,225 yards, 11.9 yards a catch, 10 TDs. Then 2022, he misses one game by playing 16 games. All right. What happened to the other paper? Okay, well the other paper just died. But I mean I wouldn't mind it, but at the same time, Saints fans will have trauma, and we're dealing with Michael Thomas. We don't gotta deal with two divas as well. So that's
It's
just
true.
me. That's just me though. But now I want to get into some other stuff. So let's see. All right. I know you mentioned when we talked about the offensive coordinator that you wanted the Saints to hire John Gruden, and I just want your opinion. Why do you like? I know you said it before, but I just want you to be clear. Why would you want them to hire John Gruden?
Because of his relationship with Derek Carr,
Okay.
um, his experience. Um, I just like him. I do.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see about that. We'll see what happens. Now let's. All right. Hold on. All right. Now let me get this back. So Now let's review some more Saints players' seasons before we get up out of here. Let's look at Pete Werner. How do you feel like he did?
I give him a B. Would be higher if he would make more plays, intercept the ball, sack the quarterback. I give him a solid B minus. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely he got better at the end of the year, but you know, he wasn't spectacular. He definitely downgraded from how he originally played, but at the same time, I'll give him. I'll give him a B minus. Like we'll have to see more about that. Now let's review. Or no. Now let's review the guy who we started the show with. How do you feel? Yeah, where do you go?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
My screen's stuck.
Uh,
I don't know what's wrong. Lawyer tried to call me and it got stuck.
all right. Well, can you hear me at least?
Yep, I hear you.
All right. All right. Well, we'll just keep going, and if your camera gets back, then we'll just go from there. All right. So we already talked about him. How, what grade would you give Michael Thomas? How do you think he did this season?
F. Give him an F.
All right. I mean, I want to give him an F. I'll give him like a C minus, cause like, don't get me wrong, the beginning of the season he was making plays, but once again, injuries just always keep up. Just kept up with Michael Thomas. Slowed his production down. But now let's talk about some more basketball, and then we'll go from there. How do you feel, or do you think that the Pelicans, like you mentioned that we should make a trade? Who are some players that you would like the Pelicans to trade for?
Zach LaVine.
All right.
I like I like Zach. I like his aggressiveness. I like his athleticism. I think he'd be nice here in New Orleans. What you think?
Yeah, I mean LaVine, he'll be all right. But I'm gonna give you three. All right. We got Jared Allen from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Wendell Carter Jr. from the Orlando Magic, and Daniel Gafford from the Washington Wizards. Now, hear me out. Jared Allen, we need to trade Jonas. Like, I'm tired of watching him go up and down. Whenever we go to the playoffs, he's never reliable. Like, every single time he plays up against a better center, he always gets dominated. But Jared Allen's not like that. Jared Allen does not back down. So I'm going with Jared Allen for my first. Wendell Carter, his athleticism's there. He has good defense. I won't mind to see him in a Pelicans uniform. And Daniel Gafford, I feel like we need him for depth because I feel like the depth at center is not there. I mean, we have Jonas and Larry Nance. I feel like we could trade if we don't want to trade Jonas, at least trade Larry Nance for Gafford because I think Daniel Gafford can do everything that Larry Nance can, but like in a better way, if you know what I'm saying. But now we're going to talk about one more, then we're going to get out of here. So, how do you feel? And we're going to actually do a throwback. How do you think Marshawn Lattimore did his rookie year compared to now? Like, do you think Lattimore can ever get back to his rookie self?
I don't know. I think the injuries are piling up on him. That's what I think.
All right.
So, nah, I think he'll just be an average cornerback going forward.
Yeah, I mean, Lattimore, he had a great rookie year. We drafted him with the 11th overall pick. He's going into his 8th year in the NFL. But I think, can he get back to his former self? Yes. Will it happen? Time will tell. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up the show, folks. We had a great show. Thanks for everybody for showing out. Dad, do you have any final thoughts?
Um, who that? That's my
All
final.
right, who that?
Who that?
Who that?
All
All
right.
right,
See you next
all right, we're
time.
out of here.
Bye.